Jumping with inflatables. How cool! But wait, what are the tips and advices to do a safe skydives with inflatables? Coming up! What's up, Skydivers? It's Catherine from Skydive Vibes, sharing the passion of skydiving and helping you become better and safer skydivers. So if you're new here, consider subscribing not to miss our weekly videos all about skydiving. So yes, we see a lot of those videos of people jumping with inflatables, ducks, boats. It looks really fun, and although I've not done it myself, I wondered, what are the safety elements to consider when jumping with an inflatable? How can we still have fun and be safe in the sky while getting some shots, some videos that will go viral on social media, of course? So this is why I reached to Perndog, another skydiver YouTuber who has done it. So Mark Perna is behind the Perndog channel, and I did ask him what did he learn in doing those jumps, what are the safety recommendations that we need to do and be aware of when jumping with inflatables. So here you go, Mark. The video is yours.
Hi, Catherine. So yeah, back in November, my buddy Jeff helped throw a boogie out at Lake Wales at Jump Florida Skydiving Center, and we had the chance to jump with inflatables. So it was super cool. We bought a little 2-person raft and we put the girls in it and we had a blast. It was the jump of the year by far. It's definitely one of the cooler skydives that I've ever been on. So the boogie was specifically around inflatables, okay? So they brought in load organizers who knew what they were doing. They checked with the drop zone owner and staff and the pilot, and we had a sky van to jump the inflatables out of, right? So you could just go out the butt of the aircraft and not have to worry about hitting it and mess with. So if you want to jump with inflatable, check with your drop zone owner, check with your S&TA, that's the USPA's safety and training advisor, you know, the instructor who's in charge of safety at your drop zone, and make sure the pilot knows what's going on too, and the other jumpers, because you're gonna need a little bit more extra space and separation between the inflatable group and the rest of the skydivers. So skydiving with an inflatable adds an increased level of complexity, and it also adds some risk to your skydive. So safety has to be paramount. And before we even attempted the jump, we made sure to link up with a load organizer and more experienced skydivers who knew what they were doing. They've jumped with inflatables before, and they brought up some points that I hadn't considered going into it. So the number one tip when skydiving with an inflatable, do not fly above the inflatable. So if something goes wrong and it gets squirrely and the folks inside the inflatable gotta bail, that thing instantly decelerates to its terminal velocity, which is way slower than yours. So you can imagine you're going about 120 and that thing's maybe going 20, 30 miles an hour. That's an extreme impact. What we learned from our load organizer, Gregory, was that best case scenario, it knocks you out and you have an AAD fire and you land off somewhere. Worst case scenario, that collision could seriously injure you. It could possibly even be fatal at those speeds. So make sure that you're a skilled enough flyer to actually attempt the inflatable jump, and make sure that you got good flyers with you and never ever fly above the inflatable. Tip number 2, you need secure handles to hold on to the thing. So very important for us was we had 4 flyers, 2 on the front of the raft and then 2 on the rear. And we built handles that we could hang on to out of rope, a piece of rope about maybe 10 inches, 12 inches, and some garden hose. We tied one end of the rope off to like the handle of the raft, and then we stuck it through a garden hose and then tied a knot on the end. That way you can just grab the rope, grab the handle, and you're not sticking your fingers in anything, and you don't have any loops that you could snag your gear on, or a GoPro, or snag someone's D-ring. So the handles were pretty important. That was not something that was even on my radar. I was like, we'll just grab this thing and throw it out. So make sure you got some garden hose and some extra rope, build some handles that are gonna be secure, that you can really grab onto, but you can also let go at a moment's notice. This one was very interesting. So tip number 3 is only inflate your raft or whatever partially. So fill it up to about 60-70%, and then be prepared as you're riding to altitude to let off some air, because as you go up to altitude, up to 14,000 feet, the air gets thinner, right? So you still have sea level air, or whatever level you're at. You still have your sea level, more dense air, and it's going to expand in your inflatable, and it could pop on the ride to altitude, and that wouldn't be very fun to ride down, would it? So make sure that you're only inflated partially, and then be prepared to release some air on the rides to altitude. Tip number 4, plan your break off, and break off high. I think we broke off at like 7,000 feet or something kind of obnoxiously high, because you want to make sure that whoever's in the raft has a chance to get out. So we planned our break off, and we staged it a little bit. So the outside flyers kind of went away. We had one person, our load organizer, kind of hang out a little ways away from the raft in case something went wrong. He'd be able to go in there and assist if possible. But once you let go, that thing sort of, it's unpredictable what the raft's going to do. So track away and make sure that you stage your break off. Do it a little bit high, You're going to be riding that thing for about 30 seconds, and it's not a very dynamic skydive. You're just kind of sitting there, but it's a blast. So you can afford to break off a little bit higher and have that added time to deal with any malfunctions that may arise. Again, with that increased level of complexity and risk, you want to add in a little bit more safety time for that. All right, tip number 5. If it's a raft and you have people inside of it, plan your rollout. So Amber and Andrea were inside the raft, and you can see in the video, Amber kind of cues it, and then they both roll to the same direction, protecting their handles as they go. So you want to make sure that you're protecting your main side cutaway and your reserve handle as you go out. If possible, cover your BOC and your pilot chute. Just make sure that anything that could get snagged on the raft or whatever, you're covering so you can roll out, do your break off, and then be good to go. Now you can see in the video that raft instantly decelerates. It is gone. It is really amazing how fast it stops falling. And it was just gone after that. We couldn't find it. We didn't know where it landed. So yeah, be prepared to lose your raft as well. Whatever you've got as an inflatable, just be prepared to lose it. All right, I think those are the major points. Overall, with safety the primary concern, and we went over everything a number of times before the jump, we had a blast. It was, like I said, the jump of the year. It was like our first skydive all over again. I cannot recommend jumping with inflatable enough. Just make sure that you got the skill level and the safety consciousness before you go and jump with a raft or an inflatable unicorn or an inflatable shark or dolphin or whatever you're gonna do. All right, again, Catherine, thanks for the opportunity to send you these videos. And yeah, I hope this video helps some people learn and educates them about skydiving with an inflatable.
Well, thank you so much, Mark, for sharing your wisdom about how to do jumps with inflatables. And guys, make sure to check in the description to find the link to his channel, Perndog, which is very interesting and has some great skydiving videos as well. On that, I hope you've liked this video. Stay safe with inflatables in the sky. Make sure to watch other videos from Skydive Vibes right here. And on that, keep jumping, stay safe, and blue sky.